All right, everyone, we are recording. Welcome to tonight's team call. It's April 19th. I am not going to do any prior, going through the challenge packs and stuff like that because we have an amazing, amazing leader on our call tonight. Nina Millan is with us. If you guys are from New Jersey, you know Nina is part of the New Jersey Market Council. Her and her husband, I think, are both Beachbody Live and Les Mills instructors. Nina's a 2-star diamond coach. And the biggest thing that Nina is kind of known for is her like page is just freaking out of this world with 21,000. I mean, still, I'm just like, what? That is absolutely and crazy insane. So we are incredibly lucky that she is on our call tonight and kind of ready to give her all her goodies. So I'm just going to give it away to Nina, and thank you so much for being on our call.
Awesome. Thank you, Rose. I'm excited to talk to you guys. I am obsessed with social media, right? How many of you are obsessed with Facebook? Just show of hands, right? You want to know everything about it, how to kind of conquer it. So I'm going to help give you guys some tips tonight. If you're feeling a little bit weird about what do I do with my timeline page and my profile? What do I do with my like page? How do I balance both of them? How do I schedule things so that I'm getting really good content out to people and people are engaging, right? How many people get crickets on their post, right? You post something and you're like, not even a like or a share, something. And I thought it was so good. So I'm going to give you some ideas on what you can do tonight. My background is in graphic design and marketing. That's what I do for a living. I work in publishing. I work in advertising and marketing. So this is part of what I do every single day. And I got to train with Facebook on advertising about a year ago. So more specifically, as a small business owner, they chose me to kind of, learn the analytics of Facebook pages. So I'm going to share some tips. Now I'm going to let you know right now, you're not going to get it all tonight. It's not going to click. So you're going to have to probably go back and watch this, take some good notes. But I promise you over time, you'll learn how to get a handle of this and you just keep going for it. All right. So I'm going to share my screen. I have a lot of slides. Don't worry about it. I'm going to give them to you. So you don't have to worry about screenshotting everything. Okay. All righty. All right. So if you can see my screen, thumbs up if you can see my screen. Yes? Okay. Awesome. All right, I'm going to leave the view like this because sometimes when I go to full screen, it's a little bit wonky. All right, so let's crush it on Facebook. You guys ready? All right, so number one, and I'm going to update this a little bit. It hasn't really I don't think the new stats out there. It's somewhere around 250 to 300 million active users. But just so you guys know, this is what Facebook currently has in active users. 1.44 billion monthly, right? 208 million in the US alone. So that should tell you right now, everyone and their mama from the US is pretty much on Facebook, right? So think of this as kind of your home center. You need to really understand and grow this well because this is where everyone's at, all right? So think about that. What would 1% of this be, right? What would 0.001% of this be? Would 208,000 people enrolled in your business be good? Yeah, right. So when I'm talking about this stat more specifically to let you know that there's enough to go around. You can grab your piece of the pie on Facebook. But some of the things you have to have really good branding and you have to have excellent content. And that's going to give you engagement. Content means likes, shares, comments, okay? So I'm going to tell you right now, consider every one of you right now as authors. You are all authors. You are all designers. You have to get good at putting out good content. So if you're not really good at this, you need to practice. Get PicMonkey, get Canva, get all of the apps on your phone. Practice. Ask people, what do you think of this? How does this read? Okay. Use each other in the team to kind of, be each other's proofreaders. Okay. Because that's really important. So creating the best profile page is really important. So we're going to go through this pretty quickly. A picture is worth 1,000 fans. So this is my old page. I have a new profile picture. So I'm going to update this because I changed it again because I got new her. Okay, anyway. But you want to have a really good timeline profile, photo and cover photo. So some of the things to know. When you pick your profile photo, try to keep it there for a while. you want to keep it current. So obviously I don't have short hair, so I had to get a new photo. But you want to keep it current to what you look like, and you want to leave it there. You don't want to have like your before and after or something really small. You want to have a really nice, engaging picture of your face, because as people get to know you, you're going to want them to know what you look like, right? And if they're going to be able to recognize you on different social media platforms, you have to have a consistent picture. To make sure you use kind of the same picture across the board. If you notice Chalene Johnson, she had like the same picture like forever until she updated it. So that's a really good example. Now your cover photo, simple, clean, good photography of you, something engaging, nothing too busy. A lot of people are doing a lot of these collage pictures. I'm not a fan of that. I think it's quite busy if you're not really good in design, if you don't get it done professionally, or you know, a lot of you use the apps and you put together these collages and it has like a bunch of things, stats about you and everything you've done in your business and all your ranks and everything in your team. Nice, simple, engaging, okay? Because this is your home base. Your profile is your home base. You can get a little bit more businessy on your like page, but think of having your home base, your profile page, being nice, clean design, okay? Another thing too, the little yellow box right there, you wanna make sure that you update your information with your like page, any affiliations you have. Put your high school, put your junior high, your elementary school, put everything that you're connected with, okay? If you're in a sorority, a fraternity, whatever it is, put it all out there, because you're gonna actually increase your viewership, because people are gonna be able to find you, right? And they're gonna be like, oh, I was in this or I was in that. What's she about? What's she about? So you wanna be able to have people connected with you from all different fronts. So make sure that you update all of your About Me section with as much relevant information about your life, what's going on with you. Okay?
Nina, really quick, you're specifically talking now about your like page?
No, I'm talking about your profile, because they're gonna work hand in hand.
Okay. Just want to clarify.
Yeah, I'm talking about your profile page, your personal page, not your like page. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna call it your timeline so that you know the difference. Hopefully that helps a little bit. I don't know. Okay, cool. So here's Chalene. She has a new, she updates her cover photo very often because she keeps it current to things that are going on in her life. So think about that there. So she has a nice engaging picture of her in both fronts, you know, simple, clean, not too much information, not a bunch of crazy things about everything she's doing, right? So when you think about your like page, now we're shifting over to like pages, right? So when you're thinking about your like page, I want you to look at the profile picture. It's just her. You can have a logo or you can have your photo, but not both. Pick one or the other. So if you have a really nice design photo, and we're gonna take a look at my like page in a little bit, that'll let you know. So it's one or the other. That's just best practices from what I've seen, because when you think about your comments, it's going to be really small, right? When you see all of your comments. So you want something that at least the icon translates pretty well as you're starting to interact with content on your page. So you want to make sure that that's nice and clear, one or the other, but not both. Invest in great photos. So here's a great example of Reebok, right? So they have their logo, but then they have like something interesting going on with their cover. So this had to do with one of those the Spartan races, and you see all the women there with their bruised hands because they're badasses, right? So that's on there. So think about it. Look, nice, engaging, clear photo, okay? So let's talk about a niche, right? Why do I want a niche? Why should I create one? I'm a coach. I pretty much do a lot of things that other coaches do. I'm in health and fitness. Well, that's the exact reason why you want a niche. You want to be set apart. You don't want to look like every other coach in Beachbody, right? You don't want to have to, you know, kind of blend in. You want to stand out. So creating a niche based on things you're interested in is not only going to allow you to create great content because you're going to be connected to whatever you're interested in, but then you're going to have a voice to a specific community. Because I'm going to tell you right now, when you're talking to everyone, you're talking to no one. But when you're talking to a very narrowed in specific community, that's when you have a chance to get that piece of the pie. And there's plenty of people out there to enroll into your business, whether they be coaches or challengers. So having a niche makes you the to-go person for a specific community. So you want to be able to corner that market. Here we go. So you want to use Beachbody as the tool, not the focus. And a lot of you know this, right? We want to create curiosity. We want to make it about us, okay? You want to make you seem like you're the total package by offering a specific voice to your industry, your niche, but then also providing entertainment, fun videos, and, you know, fitness and nutrition advice, okay? And you know, when you only focus on Beachbody, it actually detracts from what you're about, and you don't want to do that. So cater to a specific need of a special audience. So here's a successful niche coach. This is Coach Tulin. We love her. She's awesome. And I think she's coming to this area in August. But here she has her page, and she actually does it before and after. And it's quite successful here because she uses a very simplified one. It's a very close-up picture. It's like a lot of people, they stand very far back in their before and after, and so it's really hard to see, but this one, it does work for her. But notice her cover photo, right? 5 plus size tips, click here. And so what she's doing is she's actually using her cover photo as an ad, because obviously there's no button per se, but when you click it, it's gonna go to the description information on her page, and it's gonna have more, you know, information and links to her website. And you'll see that in the next slide. Oops, sorry, this magic mouse. This is just an overview of some of the pictures on her page. So I just took a screenshot of things that's going on. So she has a lot of engaging pictures. She uses a lot of quotes. She's showing her life. Very, you know, lots of color, highly engaging. She's not shy. And then when you click that cover photo, it's gonna take you to her website, which lands to this, and this is a lead page. And what this is doing is it's capturing every single person that clicks on that link, right? Download the 5 tips that she has. She's offering something, right? She's giving value. And the cool thing about that is she's building her list by doing that. So this is one of the things I was able to do with my page, is like whenever I run an ad, it actually takes you outside of Facebook so that I can capture your email, because I want to build my list. I don't want all of my leads to be on Facebook, because let's say Facebook didn't exist. Where would your business go, right? It would all be invested in one place. It's like putting all your eggs in one basket. You don't want to do that. So if you can have some kind of external page that links outside of Facebook where you can build your list, this is number one for all network marketers. We have to be list builders. It's very important, okay? Here's another one, Amy Silverman, and she's got a specific brand. She kind of appeals to that easy breezy beach girl inside of all of us that just wants to live free and not have any kind of like, you know, any kind of, you know, accountability as far as like having a job, and we want to travel. We want to have like our life out there. And you see here, like her photos are beautiful, highly engaging, very well curated, right? When she's posting them. She's telling a story through her photos. Number one thing, you don't see a lot of text on your photos, right? You don't see that here. She's actually showing her life. She just wants you. She wants to capture the viewer and have you finish the story in your mind. So that's another thing, another approach to putting content out there. You know, you don't always have to have a bunch of words all over your photos. Sometimes you can just let the photo speak for itself, and you, the viewer, get captured in. And she does the same exact thing. So on her page, she uses her cover photo. It goes to her website. She's got her lead capture right at the top, and she's got a little chat box, right? So she's building her list also. So think about it. The top coaches in this business, they understand that they're not going to put all their eggs in one basket. So here's my page, and I've changed the cover photo since then. I updated it to another bride. But see, I have my logo here. And then I have some links. If you click on these, it allows you to learn more about me. So it's really important. And this is only for desktop. You should understand that, because on mobile, they don't allow you to see tabs. But if you have the ability to have other tabs where people can learn more information, I highly suggest you take advantage of that. And you can usually do that through different apps. And here's just an overview of some things on my page, right? Brides. I use a lot of text photos, and that works for me because what I found is people resonate with a lot of quotes and motivational things. And I do a lot of like who wore the dress better type things. And I get a lot of engagement from that. I have my people pick A or B. All right, so I'm actually gonna skip through this because I'm gonna show you how this works, but mine also goes off-site. So when you click my cover photo, it has a link, or if you click my ads, it has a link to my website, becomethebride.com, and it has a little letter to the bride-to-be. Earn while you burn is my challenge for recruiting coaches. So I teach brides how to earn money for their wedding and get fit, and they click on this, I want more information. That pops up, I capture their email, and then it goes to another landing page where it gives more information about what I'm offering. And I'll scroll that. So how do you create your niche? Number one, write down your interests, all of them, every single thing you're interested in, write it down. It doesn't matter if it has fitness related or not. That doesn't matter because you're gonna find the fitness in the thing that you're interested in. So just think about that. Number two, so this is where you find the fitness. So if you are, let's say for instance, you're a dog enthusiast, right? How could a dog enthusiast also be a Beachbody coach and recruit? Well, what if you created a whole series of workouts to do with your dog outside, right? How to walk your dog and get engagement, how to play with your dog outside or play with your dog in the house or do activities with your pets that have to do with fitness. And maybe it's all about sharing different dogs that you love and, you know, fit activities for pet lovers. Who knows? You can literally find the fitness in every single thing out there. But that's your opportunity. That's what you need to do. And then number two, create a fun name. It's up to you. If it's all about you and you just want to use your name and that's your, you know, that's your niche, it's all about you and things going on in your life and your family or whatever, that's fine. But I find that nowadays people are, you know, there's so many fun websites out there and we, you know, kind of, you know, like think about Uber, like what the heck, like all these different things that are out there, like that are rememberable, like unforgettable. So I want you guys to think about like, how can I create something that is going to be unforgettable and then brand that. Next, your customer avatar. And this is something everybody should do. It's an activity where you create your ideal customer because this is going to help you create good content. So basically what you're going to do is you're going to create a profile of your perfect customer. All of the characteristics, all of the qualities that have to do with that perfect person that would buy from you every time, join every challenge group that you run, no matter what you're doing. All right, write down all of their characteristics. And oftentimes that customer avatar will be profiled off of you. Like for me, for a while, I was doing a customer avatar that had to do with me because I was getting married. So I wrote down all the qualities of someone getting married and who wanted to get fit. And that allowed me to write to that person and speak to that person and speak to their, you know, their insecurities and things that they wanted to achieve, their goals. And that really helped me to brand the page and be successful. And then when you're creating different advertising, you're only going to speak to this whenever you post. You're going to speak specifically to that customer avatar when you post on social media. So that's going to be really important. So here's the post. Like I said, I do a lot of rock the dress. Which dress rocks harder? And I got about 2,700 people engaged. I had 102 likes. I had a couple shares, and I do this. I used to do it every Wednesday, but now I do it every once in a while because I saw my engagement drop a little bit. So now I only do it as kind of like a pop-up post. But I had a lot of engagement there, and I always use my hashtags. That's really important. So design your brand. So keep it simple, good quality images. You can have a logo, relative content, a clear voice. Write all of that out first before you design or do anything. So here's some pages that I follow, but I think they're very successful in their branding. And obviously mine's wedding related, so I'm looking at a lot of wedding pages and what they do so that I can speak to the same audience because my audience are brides. So what do they all have in common? A good logo and a great cover photo. Nice, clear, not too crazy busy. So, and they're very successful in what they do. They have a lot of likes, 178,000, and it's up from there. Millions here, Wedding Chicks. Anybody follow Wedding Chicks? They have a lot of great content. Okay, so now that you've created your niche, you have your logo, you have some good photos to post, what's next? Now comes your hierarchy. So one of the things you have to understand with Facebook is there are 3 things that you're supposed to do, and only these 3 things. Number 1, the most important thing that is your responsibility when you post is to entertain people. Hands down, entertain. Number 2 is to be informational, so you're providing value. And number 3 is marketing. And marketing is very low on the totem pole. So if those of you that are posting, join my challenge group, blah, 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 like 5-6 times a week, you're doing it wrong. I only post a marketing post probably 2 or 3 times a month, like maybe once a week, maybe every other week. Because if any of you are reading personal development, jab, 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 right hook, you'll know that entertaining and informing people are my jabs, right? I'm jabbing them with all of this great information before I right hook and give a marketing post and kind of land. And my marketing post is me asking for something. But I need to have permission first before I can ask them for anything. I have to provide something. So getting really organized with this is important. So this is social media gold right here, and a lot of people have used this and been very successful. This is my social media posting schedule. And so this is how Become the Bride works. This is how I get a lot of engagement, and this is what I follow. So let's take a look at the bottom. At the bottom, you'll see the 3 categories: entertain, inform, and marketing. And what I've done is I've listed 5 different types of content that I will post that fall underneath those categories, right? So funny videos, wedding videos, fitness moves videos, funny images, wedding dress related photos. So I know based on the analytics of my page, and we'll look at this, I know based on that I get the most amount of engagement from this category, right? And that type of content. Next is informational. DIY is really high up there. Food videos, motivational photos, recipes, supplements, success stories do really well. That's for me. And then marketing, challenge group, coach opportunity, success story, special offer, contests. So you notice 1 or 2 times a week only, and it really depends, like if I'm piggybacking my challenge group with a contest or a special offer. It really depends. And you'll see in my schedule now, if you look at the graph, I have 4 different times a day that I post. And these are the days. I've categorized them by different things. So Motivation Monday, we've all seen that before. And then you'll see I filled in my graph there based on what I'm gonna post and when, and what category it falls under. And this gives me lots of variety. I can control the content. It allows me to do my research, because I do a lot of research on things before I post. I go on Pinterest, I go on the web, and I just see what's hot. I follow Google Trends. All of you write that down, Google Trends. Make sure you follow Google Trends so that you know what's current. Because when you're posting content, if you can use language that speaks to things that are hot or right now or very current, then that shows that your brand is in the know and you want to be there. Okay, so that's really important. So now that you have your schedule, you have your niche, you have your photos, all this is coming together. What the heck do you say and how do you say it? Well, now you have a schedule, even more specific of how many posts. So 10-4-1 is what I follow. And this is how you can organize your content. So 10-4-1. So 10 posts will come from outside sources, right? It's 15 posts total in the week, but right now it's 10. 10 posts come from outside sources that you'll bookmark and refer to. So you'll do your research, you'll have all your bookmarks, and that's where you're gonna grab your content to post on your page. And that's gonna be like link posts, right? We all know link posts and the little picture pops up. 4 posts will be original content that you craft yourself, okay? So 4 posts in the week are going to be, videos that you post of your own stuff or stuff that you create. Try to be original with it. Maybe it's a recipe video or something that's original content to you. One of the posts is going to be an offer. It's going to be specific. Or maybe you're doing a promoted ad, right? So these are 15 posts. You don't post them all in a day. This is spread out. It's up to you on how you, trickle them. It might be one of the 10 and then one of the 4 and then, somewhere in the middle, you do one. I'll show you how to read your analytics so you can know the best times and when to post. But you always want to remember this hierarchy: entertain, inform, and market. And that's the order of importance. Post your best stuff. Everybody, write this down. Make a swipe folder on your desktop. Swipe. A swipe folder is where you're going to put all your research. When I'm on Facebook, I screenshot ads that I think are successful all the time. If they're written well, if the photo looks good, because I can't always come up with every single thing. Like sometimes I'm stuck on ideas. So I keep a swipe folder on my desktop, and then I put screenshots of things that I find in there, or websites that I find, or nice videos or nice photos, whatever, things that I'm downloading. So keep that on your desktop. And that's just for inspiration for you. Another thing, I'm very, very big on business automation and using tools that help to make it easier. Some of you might be using some of these tools already. I'm using 3 of these. I'm using Lead Pages, Infusionsoft, and Edgar. Lead Pages is what you saw, my Become the Bride, which captures my leads. Infusionsoft runs my entire business in email marketing. So all of my training from my coaches, all of my onboarding, all of my communication with just about every single person I meet goes through Infusionsoft, and it's all automated. So I've set up campaigns. Once they're in there, it automatically sends everything. So if you guys want information about Infusionsoft, I have a coach that can train you how to do that. And that's another thing that I invested in training, because I don't have time. I don't have time to be in Gmail driving myself crazy. I want to create the campaign and press start and let it fly. Whenever I do a free group, I also use Infusionsoft too, because it makes it a lot easier to deliver my content. Like if some of you may be using the group pages and files, but I actually use a campaign where it'll send them different things every day so they know to go back and check their meal plans or whatever else, and that just makes it so much easier. And Edgar I love because you can schedule all your posts. Some of you use Hootsuite for that. I like Edgar a lot because it will actually cycle your content through your different pages so that things are always fresh. And I know Hootsuite isn't automated in that respect, so that's one of the reasons why I like Edgar a lot. You can get a 2-week trial on this. So if anyone wants more information about these tools, let me know. Facebook ads. Okay, here we go. Now that we got through all the branding stuff and we feel confident and we're ready to advertise, now we're going to get in the nitty-gritty. All right, so here we go. Unpublished posts. This is what you want 99% of your ads to be, unpublished posts. And so when you're using the ads manager, most of the posts that you do where it says not promote your page, not that type, but where it says promote a post or boost a post from the ads manager, no, not from your like page. That's an unpublished post, and it'll actually let you save it as that. Reserve boost posts only. And I know you guys are doing this. I know you're boosting every single thing that you see. You're like, oh, I need engagement. Boost, $5 here, $5 there. Don't do that. You're wasting your money. Only boost a post that is getting good engagement. You want to boost something that is already doing well because it's going to reach more people. And Facebook is going to know, hey, this is doing well. And they're actually going to show it to more people. Facebook just changed their algorithm. So you can actually get penalized by Facebook and get put in like a little mini Facebook jail for boosting too many posts that have to do with offers. You don't want that, okay? And think of boosting like being at a picnic, right? And everybody's in their respective little groups chatting, and you're standing on the picnic table going, what up? Look at me, woo! That's what boosting is like. You're screaming at the top of your lungs because what happens is now it's at the top of everyone's feed that's connected to your page. So you only want to boost something that looks like it's getting engagement. You don't want to boost something that has like 1 like. They're going to be like, what is this? Why are they, you want to boost something that has 50 likes because they're going to be like, oh, that's hot. Let me pay attention to that, okay? And always use good quality photos with a little bit of text. Not a lot. All right, here we go. Different groups to run and to promote for ads, right? Different ads. Free groups, any kind. Does not have to be clean eating. My goodness, move away from the clean eating. Everybody's doing that. You want to do something specific to your niche. If your niche is knitting, do a 30-day knit challenge or a week knit challenge. If your if your group is about, I don't know, manifestation of ideas and thoughts, do like one about meditation or something. Like think of something outside of the box. I hate that term because I'm a designer. We hate that term, but I have to say it here. Think of something that's going to appeal to a new audience, okay? Call to action for coaching. Obviously, we do that all the time, but do a spin on it. You know, don't say coaching. Oh, don't say coaching. I dropped my pen. Don't say coaching. Say opportunity. Say, you know, don't say business. Don't say coaching. I actually am doing this with my team. In the month of April, I gave them a challenge. They can't say any names for Beachbody. They can't drop the word coaching. I gave a list of things they could not say in any other advertising. So they actually have, every time they post something, it has to be related, and they have to do it every day, but they cannot say anything Beachbody related at all. So this forces you to use adjectives, you know, like it really forces you to get in your grammar and find a way to be that author and create something great. Ask your audience questions. That's the kind of stuff that you should be boosting if it's getting good engagement. So like I had asked, this is a post that I ended up turning this into an ad, and it was based off coaching. But I was like, you know, if someone were to pay you $500 a month to eat well, eat one healthy meal a day, work out, and share your stuff on social media, would you do it? And I had like 200 people say yes. And it like went viral. It was crazy. And I ended up boosting that. And I got a lot of leads from that actually. And then I ended up turning that into an ad, and that did really well. So, you know, ask a simple question. No picture, nothing. I just asked a question. It was the most simple thing ever. And that worked really well. Boost special offers, promote a photo, contests and giveaways, little things. You'd be surprised. It could be the smallest thing. Like right now I'm doing a Lululemon giveaway for $25, and that's doing really well. Different things. When you're out and about, go into Five Below. They have a bunch of fitness stuff for $5. Just pick up some things and be like, the next person to join my group. But that always works. All right, so you have your niche. Now what? Here's some steps to get likes. Follow pages similar to your niche for ideas. Number one, follow them, okay? Ask your timeline friends to like your page. Seems simple enough, but a lot of people actually don't do that. Like, hey, like, ask your timeline friends and actually message some of them and say, can I get your support? Would you like this? Because you'd be surprised. Like, sometimes just clicking invite is not good enough. You actually have to talk to people and say, you know, follow me, and tell them why. Run a Facebook ad just for likes. Everybody should do number 3. Every single person that wants to grow their like page needs to run a basics likes campaign. And they need to run one until they find an ad that works really well, and then continue that. I've been running the same likes campaign for now 2 years, and that's where all of my likes. In the first month, I went from 900 to 14,000 off of this one likes page in 1 month. And so I'm on 21,000 from that alone. And the reason why I'm only at 21,000 is because budget-wise, I don't spend a lot of money. I spent about $750 in that 1 month when I trained with Facebook. So my ad spend was $25 a day. But I budgeted for that, like we planned for it. They contacted me in August, and I ran the ad in September. So I saved some money to do it. But I highly recommend that you guys pool your money and just run a really good at like $5 or $10 or $25 a day, a likes campaign. But don't do that until you test it. So you test it at like $5 if it does well, and I'll show you how to know that. But if it does really well, then that's the one that you want to run for a long period of time. Ask some friends monthly and post your like page on other pages, but be respectful about that. Don't do it to other coaches. Like, do it related to your niche. Be like, hey guys, you know, if you see a comment that's really hot and people are following it, don't be the spammer, but, you know, engage and talk to some of the people in the comments and say, well, if you want some tips, you know, here's my like page. Do it in a classy way. Don't spam other people's pages. That's not good. All right. So how to create a sales system for leads. Number 1, targeted Facebook ads is number 1. Number 2, a sales page or a niche website with an opt-in. So that's what we looked at. A lead management system. So that's something, once you have your leads, you have to find a way to market to them, right? Email marketing system and a follow-up system. This is the lifeblood to social media right here. No matter what platform you're using, this is the way it should work. whether your ads are on Instagram or Pinterest or wherever. This is pretty much how everyone in the industry is doing it. Okay. Why do you need this? You got to capture your audience from every angle. Anyone that has a website that does not have an email capture is losing out. You have to have an email capture. It's so important to build your list, okay? And the same thing on your like page. You got to have a way to capture those leads. So it'll allow you to grow your business and sustain itself, which is something you want. So here's your marketing flow, okay? So this is how I do it. This is how a lot of people do it. I start with a Facebook ad, which then has a link to a sales page, right? They go to the sales page, they enter their email, they opt in, and to get some kind of special offer or special deal, which then goes to it through my email marketing system, right? And that's in the back end. So as soon as they put their email in, then it kicks off my campaigns that start running and they start getting emails from me, right? And that helps me to build a relationship. From there, the customer may or may not buy a product or join my group or whatever the offer was, or they get a consultation where I call them and we talk on the phone, and I do a lot of closing of my coaches and sales that way. They enroll as a customer or coach, and then I follow up with them to get them started. I have a whole onboarding process, and then through email marketing, I continue to build a relationship and add them to Facebook and do that there. And then obviously they're getting my posts. So that's pretty much my marketing flow. This system, when I started this ad 2 years ago, so this has allowed me to make Success Club every month. Most of last year, I was at Success Club 10. I had some months at like 7 or 8, but every month, even up to this month, I've made Success Club. It definitely grew. I think I enrolled somewhere. I think I'm at like 30 coaches in the last year. I've enrolled into my business through this system. So it definitely does work. It works. And that's this part. Woohoo! All right. So I am going to open up for questions before we get to the analytics part. Does anybody have any questions so far? No? Yes. Go ahead. You gotta unmute yourself. I can't unmute you.
Is it you? Kelly's got it.
There we go.
Okay, good. Okay, so what resource did you use to set up your link from your like page to get to that whole email? Was it oh no, now my notes are all messed up.
That was Lead Pages.
Lead Pages. Okay.
Yeah, that was Lead Pages. I actually have an offer for that where you can get 60 days for $1. If anybody wants that, please send me a message, or I can give you, Rose, I'll give you the links and you can post it. I don't know if it's still active, but I used it and I gave it out about a month ago and some people used it. So hopefully it's still active, but at least it'll allow you to kind of figure out if you like it. It's not cheap for those of you, but it is worth it. So for those of you that can put aside $10, $20 here and there to start investing in some of these tools, it's very worth it. Yeah, so that was Lead Pages, and then it goes, and then it captures all the emails into Infusionsoft, which is where I run my business. So for those of you that want information on how those two integrate, you need to contact me. Actually, I think I have a list. Let me see if I can pull up my coach. I have a page from my Infusionsoft coach, and then you guys can just put your emails in and contact them directly. That'll probably be a lot easier. I'll find that as we're talking. But yeah, if that helps you guys out a lot, because I know, and Rose, you might want this because then you can onboard automatically all of your people and you won't send a billion emails. That'll be good. Anybody else have a question?
Leah, you had a question.
Yeah, I do. How much would you say on average you spend between those softwares like a month to support your business?
So I'm probably, between everything I'm invested in, I'm probably about $400 a month. But my business pays for that at this point. So I'm still breaking, like in the beginning, it was a little bit of an investment until it took me about 3 months to make my investment back completely. But when I ran my ads, I hadn't incorporated Infusionsoft yet. And so I had spent $750, but I made $1,200 just from the ads itself. So, it all depends. Now my advertising budget is separate from all of my automation costs, and because I have a couple different things that I use besides Infusionsoft and Edgar and Lead Pages. So I have like different things that I'm using that function differently for my websites and my domains. Like I'm talking about my whole entire domain, everything pretty much budget, but not my Facebook advertising. So I'm probably at about 400. But for a lot of people, you can get started for $50 here, $25 there, and just incorporating things here and there. There's also a Lead Pages that's free called Rapidology. That is an email capture, but that's more for like your website that you can put on your website. It doesn't function the same way as like Lead Pages does. So yeah, I'll definitely give you guys those links when we're done. Rose, I'll give you all my links for all my stuff so you guys can see what fits in your budget.
Okay. I also have another question. Do you have any good resources or books like advertising? I have zero knowledge. Like this is awesome presentation. I appreciate that so much. But like I have no knowledge in this at all. So I feel like for me going forward, like this is definitely a huge part of my business to educate myself more about this.
Right.
Do you have any resources or books, even just about advertising, marketing in general, or, how to get started with like a website? I mean, like basics.
Okay. So, let me see. Cause there's a Facebook book that I read before here that kind of explained it really well. I want to see if I still have it in my Kindle because I don't remember the name. So Facebook itself, if you all look up Facebook for Business, they actually teach you how to use a lot of this stuff. And they have a lot of resources because they do want people to advertise. Obviously, they want that money. I mean, it's like $1 billion business for them just in advertising alone. And obviously companies have a huge budget. But a lot of what you can learn is actually on YouTube, really. Like if you're just Googling YouTube, I'm actually coming out with a series just for Facebook, and now I'm doing Pinterest also, Pinterest marketing. So if you guys are interested in that, we could do another call at a later date once I get that together if you're interested. Because our industry is shifting a lot, and actually the analytics of how ads are shown is changing all the time. So that's the harder thing, like getting the whole design down and understanding how to create good content. I feel like that's what you guys should focus on now, like really knowing how to really knock it out of the park. Definitely read Jab, 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 Right Hook by Gary Vaynerchuk because he's going to be our speaker at Summit. So you should understand that. And then another one that I think you should read that's personal development that I really like, I'm looking on here, is Permission Marketing by Seth Godin. And he talks about what it means, like Jab, Jab and Permission Marketing. Both of those things kind of work together, and they talk in different ideals, but kind of in the same realm. But understanding what it means to have permission to advertise to someone will help you to not be a salesy coach, because you guys don't want that, right? You don't want to be that annoying, pink drink company or whatever else company person out there. You guys want to be stellar standout resources for people. So that will help you guys a lot. And then the rest of it, Google it. A lot of it, you just Google it and it'll work. So, Amy Porterfield. That's another one. Sorry. Yes. Leah. Amy Porterfield is a Facebook queen. I did her training. I bought her training. She's another really good resource too. So look her up. And actually Shalene works with her a lot too. Shalene Johnson. So Amy Porterfield is amazing. Okay. So I want to show you guys, and then I'll take questions at the end, but I want to show you guys my analytics because I'm sure you guys want to know like what the F. All right. Can you see my screen? Thumbs up if you can see my screen. Awesome. All right. Sorry, you're in my email. All right, here we go. So here's my page. Is she pretty? So boom. When you hover, you see that? See how I have this as another ad? So you click here and then it goes right now I'm doing a Facebook group. Here's another tip, right? And I don't know, obviously we know about Facebook groups. If you could just do a free open group and get most of your leads into that group, whenever you post to a Facebook group, 100% of the people see it. When you post on your page, 3% of people are seeing your content. Doesn't that suck? 3%. Whenever you post anything without boosting it or advertising. So if you're wondering why nobody's seeing or engaging on your like page, it's because Facebook hates us all and they want our money. So it's not your fault. They're only showing your people 3%. So if you could do just an open group, just and tell everybody, hey, I'm offering a free group. This is what I'm doing right now. So I'm trying to get these 21,000 people into a group where I can control what they see and make sure that they see it. So that's what I'm doing right now. So it doesn't go to my website, but I highly recommend that you do something with your cover photo and then you offer some content here for them to engage with. So boom. So here I am. And I'm just going to show you so I just posted this and look, 9 people saw it. So this should show, that's like less than 3%. That's like a fraction of a percent right there. But you got to let it give some time. I found that before and afters actually don't do very well. I like to have them on my page because it's important for people who are browsing through my page to see what I'm about and what I'm offering. But before and afters do not do very well. They score very low on Facebook's algorithm. So just know that you're not really going to see a high engagement factor from that.
And you can't do before and afters as a boost or as an ad, right? They will.
You can't, no. Well, I saw some people get away with it. This is how to get away with it. If it doesn't look very similar, the picture, if it's like shot very differently or in close, I've seen some people get away with it, but it's really not worth it because it may or may not pass through. It's really more important to have more engaging content. Like this one did okay, 600. This chick, this is how I feel every day, right? I just want to roll my face in the carbs, but I don't want to eat them. So yeah, she actually gets paid to do that. Isn't that crazy? 32 million people saw this. Like, I don't understand how people get 32 million views. Like, that's what I'm working on right now, the viral factor. But like this, see, 2,700. This one did okay. So videos do really well on my page.
And you researched kind of all this stuff beforehand and like save it?
No, actually I really just search Facebook. I just kind of use the graph search. This is a very powerful tool. This search right here is second to Google search. So you guys need to use the graph search and type things in, like type what's trending, type words in, use this because it's going to pull up things from all over the place. So a lot of times I just kind of see what people on my timeline are sharing and I'll share that. But yeah, sometimes I'll do, like this is a post that I did. We actually produced this video. So I'm starting to do my own content now where I'm producing, videos. So, and that's what I want to do more of this because it's more important that I retain the views on my brand and in my page. So now I'm starting to do that. So if you have the capability of having really good video software or whatever, photography, always try to produce your own stuff whenever you can. So
I was always taught like never to share anyone else's things. Is that just for your personal page or do you say, okay, on a like page, you can do that? That's
terrible. Whoever told you that does not know what they're talking about.
Like even Shailene Johnson, like on her stuff, she said like never to share.
No, it's actually.
Or like she says to share video, like share good videos.
Right. So you want to share things, but you just want to make sure that the source that you share them from is something good enough, so, or something that you can credit. Like you can share things that come from other people and post it to your page. Let's say you rip the video, and that's what a lot of people are doing. Like you see this where it's got 32,000. They ripped this off the internet. rebranded it and reposted it. So you can do things like that where it becomes your own content. But I actually, most of what you're going to see on my page where I've gotten I've been able to retain my likes comes from different sources off the entire web. So I don't feel like there's anything wrong with that. You just have to be very, you just have to really make sure that the source that you're sharing it from is decent enough. Like this one did pretty well. I think when Shalene is talking about sharing things, I think like I'm not going to share another coach's post that's not on my team, but I'm going to share something from outside my business. So like I wouldn't share something from the same industry or the same business platform on my like page. Like Rose, I wouldn't share your stuff on my like page per se, right? But I might share something that's more general. You have to really see what your people are engaging with, because everybody's situation is so different. I don't know what your niche is, or, my husband, thank you, babe. My food's in the microwave. I don't know what your brand is or what anybody's brand is. So it's really trial and error, but I am a big fan of sharing from outside sources. And a lot of the internet will tell you that it's actually good to do that. Like, see, I'm getting a lot of, different engagement, people seeing it, people liking it. And I think that's what really matters most. So, okay, let's go to the analytics. So, boom. All right. Thank you, Nefta. All right. So here's your overview. All right. And so I haven't been really active on this because I've been working a lot, but I'm doing okay in my reach. Usually I have a reach of somewhere around 31,000 to 100,000 in a week, because I post a lot of content that gets many thousand of views. But I haven't posted a lot lately. And so if you go in your overview, here we go. So you can actually add pages that you can watch that are similar to your industry, and that will help you see what's going on. So I have 21,000. I actually had an increase, right? And this is across the board. So this should show you right here, like look at Weight Watchers. They have 2.2 million, but they only saw a 0.2 increase from last week in their viewership, right? And then their engagement was only 8.8 thousand. And they posted 5 times. They only posted 5 things in a week. But that should show you that, you don't have to post a bajillion times in a week to still see improvement. It's all about the type of post. The content matters. And you'll see here, brides, they have less, and they posted 200, and that was their engagement, and they saw 0.4. And I did pretty good. I'm right up there with the NOT, because I saw 0.9, and I only posted 10 times. So I'm right there in the industry average. So this will help you to kind of understand where you're falling. Like, obviously, if you're in the red a lot, then you really have to think about your engagement factor and stuff you're posting. But if you're in the green and you're kind of in the same poll, that goes to show you that you're doing something that's within the standard industry, right? And so this will vary, but at least this helps you compare yourself with other, brands. And you want to follow good brands that have to go with your niche. All right, so boom, we're gonna come over here to posts. This is the gold page right here, posts, okay? This is what's gonna help you organize yourself. So see this whale looking thing? So this is obviously been running a while. So this is gonna tell me when the most of my fans are on. So right now I know that I have the most fans online at 9 o'clock every day. The most fans are online. So I'm gonna post my best stuff around 9 o'clock, right? So what I've done is I just go and I look at kind of the high points, and I pick like 9, sometime around 6. I'll probably post around 10. I just try to pick like things that are kind of high, right? Maybe I'll post 9, I'll post again at 10. And I pick 4 times from here. And that allows me to build a schedule around my posts, and then I can schedule and not feel like I'm a crazy person always glued to my page, right? And this gives you the average per day. So if you hover over it, it kind of changes. So, if you know that you have something coming up, you can hover over the day and kind of see like when is the best time. Like, see, mine falls a little bit on Friday, but it's highest on Wednesday. So Wednesday at 9 o'clock is when I should post like my most exciting thing, and not Friday at 9. So that helps you. Or maybe Saturday at 9 I should post it. But look at this dip here, right, on Saturday. So now you can get a little bit more specific. And what's really cool is once you have your content running for more than 30 days, then you can start to look at your reach. So if you click here, it will actually organize it by most engaging. So I had the most, so look at my first 4, all videos. So that tells me right away, videos do the best on my page. So comment below if you'd like to do this. This was that kangaroo jump. Like, this went crazy, 11,000 people. I had so many comments and shares, like 296 likes, all these 85 comments. Like, people were just going mad over this like video of these chicks jumping in these kangaroo shoes. I just want to show you that. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of want them myself. Would you guys do it? I would do it. It looks fun. But this was organic. Like, you see the difference, organic and paid. And so I didn't boost it because it was just doing well and I didn't need to. But for instance, here, I boosted this a little bit. Actually, it didn't get approved, so I tried to boost it and they said no, which I'm like, you're hating. And this was a video of like Santorini someplace. It was like a really, really nice, let's see. It was just a really, really nice view. And I was like, would you like this as your honeymoon? And I was like, yeah. So you can just try different things. You just try different things and you see what works. And so now I'm trying to get more photo posts. So I'm following different things. But like I said, you just try. So pay attention to this, but then also pay attention to engagement. So if you come, and it's not gonna let me click on this, but you can see what your engagement factor is based on different things. And you never know, like, you might end up posting something that surprises you. Like, this got a lot of reach, but it didn't get a lot of engagement, whereas this got a lot of engagement. So this, paying attention to this area here is gonna really help you to understand what your page is doing well on and what you should kind of walk away from if it's not working. All right, ads manager, and then we'll wrap it up. So I have my likes campaign, and I'll show you that. So my likes campaign is where I got the majority of my likes. You'll see my total reach from the 2 ad sets was almost 200,000 people saw my ad. And it resulted in 18,000 of my 21,000. Like I said, I've been running this since September 2nd, ongoing. And now it's down to $5 a day. But I've spent since September 2014, I've spent, so it's a little bit, a year and a half, $2,400. And that's just from various boosting it here and there. So I'll show you what the ad looks like. So when you do a likes campaign, they give you 6 photos you can try. And what's key to know is you'll see here some of these. So I ran them for about 24, 48 hours, right? This is when I trained with Facebook. And we took a look at the analytics and these weren't doing well. So we turned them off. And you want to do that because you want to allocate all of your money to the ad that's going to do the best. You don't want to waste money on ads that aren't targeting well. And so you'll see here, like, this one did okay, and I ran it for a little bit, but we ended up just kind of putting all the money towards this specific ad because it just did the best. And what's key to know is if you're running an ad and your cost per engagement, like, click, whatever, if your cost is over 20 cents, then don't run the ad. It needs to be under 20 cents. After it runs for about 24 to 48 hours. If it's under 20 cents, then it's doing okay. Why can't I see this? It's not showing me. It should show me this ad. I don't know why it's not showing. I want to show it to you guys. So that should just help you guys a little bit. Let's see if I can. Come on, guys. All right, it's not going to show you, but it's basically me in my wedding dress. It just says rock the dress. And so that ad did the best. And so that's the one that's running now. And I'm only running it at $5 a day right now. And so this one I boosted. It's running now. It's actually at $1.13. And I started it today. So I'm not going to run this one very long because it's not doing very well. But as you can see, like in all of my ad spend in the time I've been advertising with Facebook, I've spent about $4,000, but I've reached 500,000 people with my ads. So a lot. That should give you an idea. Like you just have to keep trying different things. And some things are going to engage, and I'm going to continue to show different things so that my goal by the end of the year is 100,000. So I have to really get on it with my different ads. And by summer, I want to be at like 50. So I want to be like halfway. So yeah, so just to give you an idea, like I try different things. It's always trial and error, but you see my targeting is pretty spot on as far as trying to stay at under 20 cents. And if something doesn't do very well, then I don't run it. But I just try different things. Let's see what else do I have for you guys. Oh, so here's my Become the Bride page. It's responsive. All right, so it goes mobile also. This is what it looks like in mobile. It's really important to have responsive. So that's what I like about lead pages, because it's responsive advertising. And then it goes to this nice page here. And I have a custom Beachbody opportunity. I've edited this down, so it's my specific message. And then it talks about all the stuff that they're gonna get. And I did this through lead pages, so there are 2 lead pages linked together, right? I'm gonna teach them the highest paid skill in the world, all the program benefits, and then these are 2 of my bridal success stories. And then they're ready to get started. So it's really key that I have a button here and they fill out this application. And once they fill out that application, that goes to Infusionsoft. I get that, and then we schedule a consultation. And I talk to them about my challenges and my program. I have it at the top and the bottom of the page, and then enroll them as a coach or a challenger. And yeah, well, mostly a coach, because if they're gonna do the opportunity to earn, then they have to be a coach. And yeah, that's my page. Questions? It's a lot of info, right? You guys.
I was gonna say, man, I know if my head's like going a little cuckoo, everyone else's is probably like, holy crap, what did Rose get me into right now? So I just want to say first and foremost that that was absolutely amazing. Great content, great information. So for new coaches, because we have a lot of new coaches, what would you say is like the first step? Because honestly, a lot of us are still just doing personal page. I don't think even maybe 20% of our coaches have like pages.
Right. So it's great that you guys saw this, because you can see where you can go with it, right? Like the progression, because I was just like you, like I only started a like page when I got married in 2014, and that's when I started this like page. So it wasn't that long ago that I really kind of dove in and did this. So for those of you that are like, hey, my mind is like all over the place, just start, right? Make your like page. You don't have to come up with a crazy name right now. Just make a like page that has your name until you can come up with something that works for you. The next thing that you can do is just start posting content based on things in your life. So I would try to schedule some time to do your posts a week in advance. So either you do the schedule that I posted and you come up with times that you're gonna, or content ideas on a schedule, or at least set aside one day a week on a Saturday or Sunday or whenever you're off and you have time to kind of jot out what you're going to do the following week. And I'm really a like kind of in the moment type of person also. So even though I schedule a lot of things, I also like to just kind of go with what's trending. So I try to follow, and I look at like Facebook trending and try to share things that are very current. So as a new coach, think about trying to stay very current to things that are going on. Definitely, you want to post a lot about things that you're doing. If your page is about you, if your niche is about something specific to your interests, have your face, have, a lot of happy, smiley pictures, show your family, show things that are going on that, relate to your life or things you're interested in. And then just continue to try to take good photos. Another thing that you can do on your phone, if you have an iPhone or Android phone, is whenever you take pictures, I'm going to bring this up on the camera, you have a grid that you can put on your phone, and I don't know why I can't find this, but use the grid, because that is going to allow you to, and why can't I bring this up? That's going to allow you to kind of set the theme of the photo, right? Because you'll have like a grid, there'll be 2 lines and then 2 lines. And try not to take every picture in the center. Try to off-center certain things so that the photo becomes a little bit more interesting. And really, just try to pay attention to things that you see online. Screen capture a lot of things that you think are interesting to you. Keep that swipe folder. What are you guys struggling with? Do you have any specific, questions for me?
I have a question. When you share your videos and stuff on your like page, like I kind of saw you would just put like a one-liner comment below. If you would do this, like, do you always suggest writing like a short little something with the video if you share it, or do you just share it?
Sometimes I usually always write something, because when I have a voice on my page where I'm talking to my bride, like I'm like, hey girl, like a lot of things I feel like, did you guys watch Gossip Girl, right? Did anybody watch Gossip Girl? So I try to be like Gossip Girl to my fans and try to be like that, hey, did you see this? Or did you look at this? Or what do you guys think about this? So that's the voice of my page. So you guys can just share without content if you like, but I find that if you have a little bit more personality and you talk to your fans, you'll get more engagement out of them. So try to figure out what your voice is going to be. That's a great question.
All right, thanks.
Yeah.
I have another question, of course.
Sure.
Sorry if I jumped in before anyone else. So we have a lot of coaches that will share their things from their like page, their posts from their like page to their personal page. So you see both. What is your feel on that?
I think that's fine. I actually like doing kind of the reverse, where the content starts from your personal page and you share it kind of like a blog post that you're sharing to your like page. And you can do both things back and forth, especially as a new coach. It's a good way to get likes, because if you're sharing content that you've blogged on your like page and you said, I just wrote this blog post, can you guys check it out? Or I just blogged, and ask people to go and like it. That's a really good opportunity to grow just from your immediate list of friends that you have. So I definitely say share, back and forth. As a new coach, it's a good tactic to, get people to like you. So, and as long as you're following the hierarchy, entertain, inform, market, remember that. Remember that. Come up with categories, that are going to be underneath those 3 things. That is your responsibility on Facebook, is to follow that kind of high idea. And that will help you to really think about when you're about to post something. Does it fall underneath one of these categories? Am I posting too many marketing posts asking people for something? Or am I providing value and entertainment to my audience? And if you do that, you'll definitely see that people follow you more often because you're about something. So that's what you want to be about it, right? You want to be about it. Any other questions?
I have a question for you about trending.
Yeah.
So how do you decide what you're going to pick that's trending? Like, is there a certain way you pick it, or is it just kind of luck of the draw, you just happen to be scrolling and see something and share it? How do you decide, I guess, is what I'm asking.
So, Twitter helps me a lot, because if you guys are on Twitter, like, things are always trending on Twitter. Facebook has theirs, and then Google has their trends. And I try to stay to things that have to do with either pop culture or the bridal industry, or just kind of girl empowerment in general. I try to speak to my customer avatar a lot, and things that I think that she would be interested in. So that will really help you to kind of, obviously you're not sharing Donald Trump posts on your like page. Like, that would not be a good idea. I try to I don't do anything political, nothing controversial at all. That's really, really important. And even, it's funny because, like, on my timeline, I leave my timeline really open for more things that are important to me. So I actually don't mix the two. I do not mix my timeline and my Become the Bride. They're very separate, because I like to use my timeline as a discussion piece to have higher level things. So I do talk about some political stuff, but really general. But I don't recommend a new coach does that unless they're really going to separate the two. I don't do any marketing from my timeline. Like, every once in a while I may talk about a success story or a free group or whatever. But when it comes to trending posts, I really try to just speak to my customer, and that really helps me a lot.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for this call. It was so informative. I've taken like 4 pages of notes.
I love that. Good. You're going to have the recording. So you guys, I know, like I said, you guys are going to have to go back. But at least as you build your skills, you can go back to this call and say, oh, that's what she meant when she said X, Y, Z. Oh, I get this now. So like I said, it's not going to all make sense right now, but I just want to show you the progression of what it can be and what you need to work towards. And that will really help you to be a high level, high functioning coach. Any other questions? Shoot, I'm all ears, guys. And I got my recovery. I got to drink this stuff.
All right, I do have one last question.
Yeah.
So what do you say for people who are like, I don't want to share anything personal? Would you say a like page is for them?
Well, here's the thing, right? You're a coach, right? So what we do in fitness is personal. It is personal. And if you're going to reach into somebody's life and be relatable, then at times you have to be willing to get personal and to share of yourself, because you're not going to be able to inspire anyone if you're closed off from showing what your life is like. Like, my page is public. It's been public for many years. If all of you do not have public pages, I'm going to tell you something right now. There's no such thing as privacy on the internet. So if you have a private page, there's really no point, because, at the end of the day, if someone's going to go out of their way to stalk you, they're going to find a way to do it anyway. So you might as well have a public page. But if you're not willing to share, right, and you want to have a like page, it's just going to really be hard for you. You have to really think about what that means. Like, when you're talking about sharing, are you talking about sharing your family? Well, you don't necessarily have to share every single thing. You don't have to share every nuance, but how can you share the idea of what's important to you and how it relates to your family, and whether that be on your like page or your timeline? And it's really going to dictate your niche. Like, if your niche is specific to a certain interest, then you're already going to know what you're going to talk about. Like, on my Become the Bride, because it's bridal, I don't put too much of my family there, right? I share my husband every once in a while if he does something, because I talk about what your future husband could be like or whatever. Or I share that, we just had a son. So I'm sharing about the momminess of, our family growing after being married and that. But I think a lot of it is really going to come down to what is important to you, what you want to do with your business. I don't know, Rose, do you have anything specific that you've come up with coaches where it's been an issue?
Just some like new coaches that are like, you know, keeping their page private and that type of thing. And it's like, how can you keep it like, you can't grow if you're not willing to get uncomfortable and quote unquote get outside of the box.
Yeah, 100%. Remember, fitness, it's personal, but it's social, right? Everything that has to do with health is social. We get fat with our friends, we binge with our friends, we do a lot of things with our friends and our families that are not the best interest of our health and our goals, right? So all of these things are already social in an aspect. So when you think about you being a coach and promoting Beachbody and what this opportunity has and what it can bring into someone's life, you know, if you're not willing to share that in different aspects of how it's helped you, then how do you expect to inspire anyone? Because at the end of the day, your job as a coach is to inspire the hell out of people every single day. And even if you're not feeling it, that in itself is inspirational, because nobody expects you to be perfect. But if you're willing to share your ups and downs, if you're willing to share moments of vulnerability and weakness, that shows somebody that you're real. It allows them to really see that they can, you know, get to know you a little bit better and want to be a part of whatever movement you're working towards, especially in our business. So I think it's scary at first if you're a new coach, and there's definitely ways to dip your toe in the water one at a time, and, you know, but I challenge every single person that is having a hard time sharing to share something personal tomorrow. I challenge you to share something personal, maybe something nobody knows about, maybe something you haven't, and I'm not talking about anything tragic, or maybe you do share something tragic and you speak about it in a way about how you're being empowered or moving beyond it. But that's the first step to you letting go if you share something like that, and then you can just go from there. And I guarantee you, there's such wonderful people out there, especially in our community. If you open up and you share, and then you get all this positive feedback, and you get people coming to you and being like, wow, I didn't know that, or, you know, thank you for saying that, or I needed to hear that today. Imagine how amazing that's going to make you feel about what you're doing and the position you're in, and how you can inspire and help somebody and change somebody's life. I guarantee you, if you open up and you start sharing, it is going to be an amazing experience for you as a coach. So do it. Go for it. Be fearless. That's my spiel.
I love it. I love it. All right, guys, this is your chance to learn. So if you guys have any questions, I know we've been on for a little over an hour, but
It's all good.
here in the live. So ask and forever hold your peace.
Everybody's running. They're like,
I have another question. So when you say public, like that's your timeline, like personal page and like page, right? Okay. Because like my issue, like I've talked to Rose about it before, is like I'm a teacher. So my students have been like, oh, Miss Cleese, you were really pretty in your wedding dress. And I was like, what? And I was like, how did you see that? And that like freaked me out. But then, you know, Rose said, you know, so what? What are they going to do? They like your wedding dress, but both of them, right? Personal and like page, both are public. That's what you say?
well, like pages are going to be public regardless, right?
Yeah.
So they're just going to be open.
Mhm.
Your personal page, when it comes to things that are related to your job, so that's where you're going to really like lists. Lists are going to be your friend, okay? Because you can have a specific audience in a Facebook list, and I'll show you guys really quick. And then when you start posting on Facebook, it's actually going to only post to that specific audience, so that if you don't want your students to be able to see, and I actually use this for prospecting. So like I have my coaches in a list, I have my challengers, and then my Super 8 is, these are people I'm working on in my business to get to diamond. But so if I go here to challengers, right, I have my challengers here, and I can post something and only they see it. And then when I come and I try to engage with them, all I got to do is go down the list and just like people's stuff.
When you post from there, will that give you a higher percentage of reaching those people, or is that like 100%?
Yeah, everybody sees it in this list. So if you make a list that's for challengers or coaches or prospects, now you're going to actually segment, and you don't have to like bombard people on your like page that don't want to see coaching stuff. Facebook lists are really saving coaches from being too spammy or whatever. Now you can kind of get more specific on Facebook. So I'm glad you actually asked that. So this is what I say to you. I would make a list, and it might take you some time, of just people that you know you want to see certain information, and then just post to that list. And that will help you a lot so that you don't see that stuff.
Well, that won't show up on your timeline then, right?
It'll be on your timeline, but only people in that audience will see it.
Okay, cool.
Another thing I highly recommend for prospecting is you go over here to settings and you download a copy of your data. I actually downloaded my entire friends list so that I could prospect from there. So now I have a list of 1,900 people to just work from. And so it'll actually give you like a folder, and then you can put it in Excel and work from that.
Yeah, so all you did was went to settings, general, and then it's just download a copy right there.
Download a copy. It takes them a little bit, depending on how long you've been on Facebook, to get your data together, but then they give you like a link. And then it's all text anyway, so that will really help you guys to,
Yeah, that's what I recently did, and now I legit have a list of my friends I'm going through, putting them in lists, and then now I make it a point of at least checking each of my lists one time per day and making sure I comment and like on those things specifically, but did not know you could just post to those people. That's really, really smart.
Yeah, and that's really how I make sure that I stay engaged with my challengers so they get my motivation. So I'll post to that list, and then they'll all get it on their timeline, right? And it looks like I'm engaging with them. But then also with my coaches, I can send them specific information that posts, and then I don't have to feel like I'm spammy. So that really.
I have a question. How do you make a list? Like, how do you even?
Hold on, let me pull this up. All right. So really simple. You're here. You scroll down to friends. You click on friends, and boom, create.
Oh, okay.
So Facebook automatically creates smart lists for you based on your engagement. So you can actually start posting from what they do, but I like making my own just because, like, I have all my brides in here. I like making my own. To do that.
So I can just like have like a second, like, quote unquote friends list, and anything that as long as I'm clicked on that, whatever I post just goes to them.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. So put here, create, and then love you. Boom, right, just now. And then you see here, it says prospects.
Okay.
Go to my timeline just now. Prospects.
Okay.
Boom. And only those people see this.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. And you can always change it too. Like if you posted something and you want a certain amount of people to see it, another thing you have to be mindful of is whatever list you posted to last, it's by default, Facebook is going to put that list. So you have to make sure you change it back to public.
Okay.
I didn't even know that this was only posted in Super 8, so I'm glad I put that. But yeah, and that will help you.
So I guess like one of my concerns, because I've been a coach for a little, not long, like since, beginning of February. My personal page is still private. And I do have a like page, and I have been inviting a lot of people to my like page because eventually I want to work more from my like page than my personal page. I've been toying with making it public. I just get a little weird about it because I do have so many pictures of my son and because I made Facebook and it was just a personal thing. I didn't anticipate I'm running a business out of it, so it freaks me out a little bit.
With photos though, you can change it may take you some time, but I highly recommend, you know, you set the settings on your albums to be, you know, specific. Like, for instance, you can come here and you can change the audience for each album. So if you have a lot of pictures of your son and you're concerned, then you can come in and manage. You see how it says you can change the audience. So you can come into your photos and set it to only friends or family or specific people. So it might be worth it for you guys to do that. And this way you can have a public page and not have to worry about who's going to see whatever.
So I would make it public, and I would change, because the settings right now are for just friends.
I would come in and change the albums first.
Okay.
And once you get all of that organized, then you set your page to public.
Okay.
And then you don't have to worry about the wrong people seeing whatever.
Okay.
Yeah, so you may have to come in and clean it up. I actually have something like, what the heck?
Thank you.
Sure. Does that help you guys? Hopefully. It's a lot of info. She's like, yes, I figured it out. Haley's like, I got this now. Finally, a public page. I could do it. But yeah, do it, guys. That was the first thing I learned at my first summit, which was in 2010. My gosh.
So you've been a coach for how long?
6.5 years.
And you've been doing your like page for 2 years?
Yeah. I haven't been coaching, right, the business. Like, when I first joined, I just did it really just for my own. I was like a discount coach for like 3 years. I was like, nope, I don't want to do a business. So I would say like in 2013 is when I really started to grow a business. So yeah, so like 3 years really, even though I was a discount coach. And I was a customer lead from an infomercial. Crazy. Don't give up on those people. I came from the infomercial. I ordered off the phone.
I came from the free, get your free coach. Okay, I'll sign up.
Yeah, I was a lead. That's what I was. So you never know. Don't give up on your leads.
Definitely not. All right, anyone, last questions? All right, guys, thanks for staying on. Thank you, Nina. This was like mind-blowing. If you can send me all that awesomeness, that would be great.
Definitely will.
All right, guys, take care. Good night. Thanks for joining.
Thanks. Bye, guys.